Hello everyone, you're watching News Mongolia on MNB World. It's Thursday, March 23rd. I'm Batsir Namshar. Our top stories for News Mongolia. Updates from the regular cabinet meeting. As of February 2023, inflation stands at 12.2%. Welcome to Mongolia reception and concert promotes cultural exchange between Mongolia and Kuwait. For the news, stay tuned. The regular cabinet meeting of the government was held on March 22, 2023, and issues regarding corruption, traffic, and Selp River were discussed.
In a bid to fight corruption, the government of Mongolia has declared 2023 as the year of fighting corruption. The Prime Minister has given the order to intensify the fight against corruption, and the government has implemented 5 anti-corruption measures, which are called Whistle, Sweep, Bird, Takeover, and Glass. These measures are designed to eradicate corruption in all sectors of society. At today's meeting, the Prime Minister gave several instructions. As part of the bird operation, he gave instructions for us to cooperate with law enforcement agencies in closing and freezing the personal accounts of people who have fled abroad. The number of people who are being investigated by the Independent Authority Against Corruption and who have escaped from the investigation stage has increased to 18. There are more than 100 people belonging to other investigative organizations. The task was to intensify the search and investigation of these people. According to the prosecutor's decree, the foreign passports of the above-mentioned persons were revoked and the border control authorities of foreign countries were instructed to notify them. Also, it has been decided to close the accounts opened in Mongolia, which are used abroad and are used to transfer money from Mongolia. Based on the detective's proposal, it is planned to be carried out in cooperation with the prosecutor's office. One of the anti-corruption measures, Operation Bird, involves the extradition of individuals who have fled to foreign countries during the proceedings related to corruption charges. The names of 92 fugitives have been announced, and the number of people who have escaped has increased by 18. The meeting has given the responsibility to bring these people back and hold them accountable in accordance with the international agreements and the laws of Mongolia. Furthermore, actions will be taken to freeze the accounts of the absconders. The Prime Minister has also mandated the creation of a legal framework that would clarify the system in which the private sector is held liable under the criminal law if a government organization or official obstructs it from doing its work. This move is aimed at ensuring that private sector companies can operate freely without fear or interference from government officials. In addition to the fight against corruption, the government of Mongolia is also working on improving the quality and availability of public transport services in Ulaanbaatar city, the capital city. The Special Road High Capacity Bus Project and the Spare Recovery Project are set to be started in 2023. The chairman of the National Committee for the Reducing Road Congestion in Ulaanbaatar city, Sukhwater, presented the projects at the cabinet meeting. The Special Road High Capacity Bus Project involves the construction of high-capacity special roads in the cross directions of the road network of Ulaanbaatar city and the introduction of large-capacity buses for public transport services. The project is aimed at reducing traffic congestion and availability of public transport services in the city. The project is part of comprehensive measures to coordinate with the major projects and programs that will be implemented in the future. This project supports the consensus view that there are many opportunities to alleviate traffic congestion. Subsequently, the ministers were assigned the task of carrying out this work in 2023 and studying the means of financing. The first phase of public transport fleet renewal works has been completed. In addition to school buses, more than 400 new buses have been imported. Work is being organized to finance the second phase of work renovation from the state budget. In addition, 87% of electric buses will be imported on September 1st, and eco buses will be imported by coming autumn. There is a need to update some public transport regulations. It is planned to be submitted to Cabinet in cooperation with the ministers. In general, last winter we saw that the public transport sector fell to its lowest point. We are working to ensure that this situation does not repeat itself next winter. The Spare Recovery Project involves the construction of a flood dam along the Selp River, the building of a water pond to increase the flow of the river, and the creation of pedestrian paths, bicycle paths, and environmental landscaping along the river. The project is designed to reduce the risk of flooding, balance the ecological system of the city, and create a healthy and safe living environment for citizens. Furthermore, the government of Mongolia has instructed Finance Minister Jauhlan and Capital Governor Samyatar to urgently study the sources of funding required in 2023 for the projects and measures to reduce traffic congestion in Ulaanbaatar city. They are expected to develop a proposal for measures to be taken and presented to the cabinet meeting within the next month. In conclusion, the government of Mongolia is taking various measures to fight corruption and improve the quality of life for its citizens. The Special Road High-Capacity Bus Project and the Spare Recovery Project are just two of the many initiatives being implemented by the government to achieve these goals.
During yesterday's regular cabinet meeting, the Minister of Economy and Development, Hurul Batar, discussed the rising prices of goods and services in the country.
According to data from the National Statistics Committee, the country's annual inflation rate stood at 12.2% as of February 2023. While this is decreased from the peak of 16.1% recorded in June 2022, it is still more than twice the central bank's target level. The decrease in inflation was attributed to a variety of factors, including an increase in official reserves of foreign currency, stabilization of the currency market, and a decrease in the price of goods and products in foreign markets. These factors have helped to reduce pressure on the depreciation of the MMT. Despite the decrease in inflation, certain factors have contributed to its continued high level. For example, the price of improved fuel has doubled compared to the same period last year. Additionally, although the price of diesel fuel has been stable recently, it has still increased by 28% compared to the same period last year, which has had a negative impact on inflation. Among food products, the prices of certain items have risen significantly. Flour and bakery products have increased by more than 50%, while milk and milk products have risen by more than 30%. Some vegetables, such as onions and potatoes, have also increased in price by about 30%. However, it is worth noting that while the prices of flour and milk have increased year on year, they have stabilized in recent months. To combat the issue of inflation, the Bank of Mongolia has increased the monetary policy interest rate 5 times in 2022 by a total of 7 percentage points. The Monetary Policy Committee decided to maintain the policy interest rate at 13% at its regular meeting in March 2023. The government is advised not to implement any measures that restrict market competition and to continue efforts to increase foreign currency reserves in order to reduce inflation in the future. In summary, while inflation has decreased from its peak in 2022, it remains at a high level, posing challenges to the country's economy. The government and the central bank are taking steps to address this issue, but it is clear that more work needs to be done to stabilize prices and ensure economic growth and stability.
March 22nd marked the 42nd anniversary of an event that marked a milestone in the history of space exploration in Mongolia. On this day in 1981, a Mongolian astronaut embarked on a joint space mission between the Soviet Union and the Republic of Mongolia, thereby becoming the second person from Asia and the 101st person in the world to fly into space.
The crew consisted of two accomplished cosmonauts, Vladimir Alexandrovich Zhenybekov, a two-time hero of the Soviet Union, hero of the All Republic of Mongolia, and Juktur Demit Gururakhcha, hero of All Republic of Mongolia, hero of the Soviet Union, and the state cosmonaut of the Republic of Mongolia. They flew into space on board Soyuz 39 and successfully returned to Earth on March 30, 1981. This historic event put Mongolia on the map as the 10th country in the world to send a human being into space. Moreover, it represented a significant milestone for the development of space science in Mongolia. During the joint flight, 25 experiments were conducted in 3 main fields: hospital biology, physical technology, and remote sensing. These experiments will lay the foundation for the use of space technology in various fields such as natural geography, mining, agriculture, information, and communication. It is noteworthy that Mongolian Soviet spaceflight was meticulously documented by photojournalists from the Montsama agency. They captured all the events related to the joint training and schooling of the cosmonauts of the two countries, starting from the flight and landing in the Star campus between 1978 and 1981. Their photos alone compose more than 60% of the archival photos related to the event. The joint Mongolian-Soviet spaceflight was carried out by a team of journalists and reporters who worked hard to spread the story to the world in Mongolian, Russian, English, French, and Chinese. Galtan, correspondent of Montsama agency in Moscow, columnist Bazarwan, literary secretary Chekter, photographers Nina and Batsukh, teletypist Byamcho, and the press secretary Sukhwatr played critical roles in reporting and documented the event. Their efforts have ensured that the story of Mongolia's contribution to space exploration remains alive and celebrated even after more than 4 decades.
You're watching News Mongolia on MNB World. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. The Welcome to Mongolia reception and concert was recently held in Kuwait, featuring a showcase of the rich cultural heritage of Mongolia. The Mongolian delegations was invited by the National Council of Culture, Arts and Literature of the state of Kuwait, with the event serving as an opportunity to promote cultural exchange and strengthen ties between the two nations.
The reception was held at the Grand Hyatt Hotel, while the concert was held at the Abdul Hussein Abdul Rida Theatre. The concert featured a performance by artists from the Mongolian Grand Theatre of National Arts, who impressed the audience with their exceptional artistry and skill. The reception also featured a stunning fashion show by renowned Mongolian designer Mukhtsik and models from the Queen Model Agency, showcasing the unique beauty and elegance of Mongolian fashion. The ambassador of Mongolia to Kuwait, Sirikling, gave the opening remarks, highlighting the cultural ties between two nations and the significance of cultural diplomacy in promoting mutual understanding and respect. The Welcome to Mongolia reception and concert is an excellent opportunity to share the rich cultural heritage of Mongolia with the people of Kuwait, said Ambassador Sirikling. It promotes cultural exchanges and helps strengthen the ties between our two nations, he added. The event was attended by a diverse group of guests, including ambassadors, diplomats, businessmen, and people involved in cultural exchanges. The Mongolian delegation was pleased to showcase its unique beauty and richness of Mongolian culture to the people of Kuwait. The government of Mongolia has declared 2023 through 2025 as the years to visit Mongolia, with events like Welcome to Mongolia reception and concert serving as an excellent opportunity to promote tourism and showcase the cultural traditions of Mongolia. The event was a resounding success, showcasing the deep cultural ties between Mongolia and Kuwait and highlighting the important role of cultural diplomacy in building stronger ties between nations. The Mongolian delegation was grateful for the warm hospitality extended to them by the people of Kuwait and is looking forward to further strengthening of cultural exchanges between the nations.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you on Friday with more news and updates. Goodbye.